Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Keep your hands away from your faceplate. Sure, that's a lot of you keep saying. Blood sugar this morning is 6.5. Calibration is still good. I have 7.45 units left in my system. This little break was where my sensor went into updating mode. Not exactly sure why. It could be up to 3 hours sometimes, but we went on our way, a meal, so all is good. Time and range hasn't changed from the last video. We're at 6% above, 90% time and range, below 4, and still a little bit higher blood sugar. But we're going to keep working on things. Today, I want for us to take a look at, reviewing your numbers and how important is it for you to utilize your numbers. So we'll be right back and we'll get going. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. So, first of all, it's important for you to do your testing. Straight out. Every day, a type 1 diabetic should at least do their test 4 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bed. And I say, that's the minimum. You can do it more if you feel uneasy. If you would just want to check, are you going low? But the good idea was 4 times a day. Now, with glucometers and such, that's being not restricted, but that's being down to 2 times a day at least to calibrate. And a lot of the newer pumps, you won't even need to calibrate. But you're still going to get all these numbers. And a lot of times I go over these numbers. And I've talked about this before. This is your time and range. And you will be given a sheet off your pump that will have a whole bunch of funky looking graphs. But part of this will be your time and range. And I will insert it here. So, what good are there all these pages and numbers? And what do they really indicate? I can tell you, when I was first diagnosed, you had to do your urine tests 4 times a day. And those were a lot different. Below 2.9 blood sugar, everyone knows you're low. But you could be negative on a urine test and you don't know if you're low or if you have a high renal threshold. It was not the best way. It could give you kind of an overview of how well your control was, but it wasn't that great. So we had to do a urine test. We had to take them to the doctor. The doctor would look at them and come up with a game plan. Looking back at it now, to where we are now with all these devices, it is like night and day. So what's the reasoning? Why do we have to do all these numbers? And what do you do with your numbers? The numbers are not only there for your doctor. You need to take control of your numbers. Now, you've been following along with your doctor and you've come up with a plan that seems to be working for you. You need to take that information, utilize it, and hopefully come up with a plan that would work for you. For myself, and I've got to say, I'm going to put in my warning here again. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. This is because what I'm going to tell you works for me. It's what my doctor told me. It should not be used for you unless approved by your doctor. Blood sugars can go up and down for no reason. You could have an influence that comes in, and for some reason your body responds, your need for more insulin goes up. My original plan was 3 days. If you have morning highs for 3 days, then you increase your insulin by 2. You wait 3 more days. And again, if it goes up, you can modify. If it drops or you start having reactions, you go back to your old dose. That worked for me. Does not necessarily mean, oh, I'm going to try that right now for you. On the other hand, if you're going low, you could increase it. That was more working for me when I was on shots 4 to 8 times a day. It was weird. Now, with this little device, an insulin Medtronic 780G pump, I always have corrections, so I don't have to worry about correcting dose as much. When I go see my doctor, which I will be on the 21st, then we can discuss it. I don't sort of say, well, here's my numbers. You do what you want with them. It doesn't work that way. You should be able to go in and have an understanding. Your everyday tool is, just getting it here, there it is, the time and range. Here and here. Now, when you have 2 highs and 2 lows, or sorry, your high number and your low number is out of the range that you selected, deal with one at a time. Don't try correcting both of them, because if something goes wrong, you're not going to know where your mistake is. So deal with it and learn from it. Still, 90% is very good. It allows you to say, hey, I'm doing well. A lot of your doctors and healthcare professionals and everything will be happy with 70%. So 90% is awesome. I could feel throughout the day I have more energy. If I could go back in time and kick myself when I was, it doesn't really matter. I would, because the way I feel now, at 90% time and range is a hell of a lot better. I was probably down by 20, even 30. I was eating so much sugar, so much crap. I got to admit, I'm still a junk food addict. Recovering, but I still am. So, you need to utilize your numbers to get to an area where you are happy, your doctors are happy, and you're feeling better. It's ridiculous how much better you can feel. Now, if you're on the Medtronic CareLink, you can take a look at understanding Medtronic reports. And from CareLink, you can download. Sure, you can do the same for the other pump companies. Learn your reports and learn what these numbers mean. Take a look online. That's how I really learned. There's a site, and I've critiqued this site before. It was a very good critique. Taking Care of Your Diabetes has a whole download on how to read your reports. That opened my eyes. And now the report that once just looked is so much clearer, so much more precise. Utilize your numbers. You can see trends that, I don't know, every Wednesday you go high just before lunch. Well, what do you have for dinner, or sorry, breakfast on Wednesday? You gotta take a look at that. Did you try something new? All of these things, but ideally you should go in with a game plan of what you should expect from your doctor, your diabetes educator, on how to best live with your disease. Trust me, you'll learn. And with that, have a great day. We'll talk again soon. Bye now. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thank you. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.